for the people who are working for them, or even in different sectors. If we also work in corporates, we talk about our corporate revenue, CR, that amount which we want to donate. Now the question is, when we are donating it for the agriculture system, are you making our project or our intervention which is focusing on women individually, putting them at the focus and then designing our interventions? So slowly and steadily, I would say that the situation is not so grim, but we need to be more and more vocal about women farmers, and they are doing their best. They are the champions.
Let me just interrupt you for a brief moment there. It's taken us 75 years to come to this point. The transformation, I'm not very sure, will happen in our lifetime. How much more time?
I know it's difficult to put a number to it, but it's just a rhetoric. How much more time, how much more, what is the kind of interventions that we need to do? Because this has to be a paradigm shift. It has to be a complete transformation. If 75 years of time could not help us transform, how much more time and what kind of thought process and what kind of interventions do we have to do that it becomes a reality? Both of you feel free to share your thoughts.
With what you were saying, the time period when we ask for change or we start thinking for change, we really have a question: how long? How long this inequity will go on? So when I think about this question, I would say that it's all about comparison. Where we were 75 years ago, we are not there anymore. So there is a shift. There is a positive shift, right? So my mother or my grandmother didn't have this opportunity, and I'm sitting here. So I say this time frame. Now the second, it's very, very important. It is emotional, I would say, for us as a women. It's with us. How long are we going to suffer? It's not only about women farmers. It's not only about women who are victims of domestic violence. It is about a human being. Before being a woman, we are a human being. This is what we are forgetting. When we talk about gender, it's not only about men and women. We know that. It's about transgender. When will we start talking about transgender in this fashion? That's my question when I think about time frame. But yes, changes have happened. Change is inevitable. And one line which I say always to myself in this is, my journey is my destination. Destination is not somewhere there. Where we are able to make change in our own area of influence. If there is something happening in our neighborhood, are we putting our effort to change that then and there? If somebody is a victim of domestic violence, if I am taking an effort, oh yes, this is the time frame I have seen the change. So it is happening in pockets. It's happening in parcels, I would say. When it comes to women farmer, so when we work with the women farmer, when I work with the women farmers, it's almost a decade now. So the Goli Sakhi, I take example, Sumitra Sakhi, Gutti Sakhi, they are the champion of change. And I'm getting a goosebump when you're asking me this question. When 10 years back, as an institute, as a farming community, we started working with them, with International Rice Research Institute. We started with 4 things, It's about identity, knowledge bank, literacy, and economic empowerment. And now after 10 years, it's like 2013 I'm talking about, in 2023, when visitors come, last week itself we had a visit of few of the delegates, and what we used to say for them 10 years back, they were saying it. So there was a visit which happened with Eten Bernal. He is one of the biggest social media influencer. He was there in Bihar last week from where I'm coming right now. And when the women farmers were talking about identity, knowledge, bank leadership and economic empowerment, I was like, in my lifetime, at least I have seen this shift. So let's be happy. The journey is the destination. There's no destination line there. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change wherever you are. You work in agriculture, you work in health, you work in corporates. You even work against domestic violence as an activist. Then and there you have to raise the voice. If somebody is getting molested, then and there you have to take a call. You have to rise, you have to shout, you have to make voices. And not only in agriculture, but everywhere when I see about gender equality, the time frame is right there. I don't think about 70, 25 years down the line. When I'll die, when will this change happen? Change is happening parallelly. So let's enjoy that, let's celebrate that, but also be very, very reflective, as you were saying. When is that point, when we say yes, we are equal. And I would end this with one of the lines, right? Let's start teaching our boys. It's very important. Make men gender sensitive. Bring them into these forums. Bring them into the leadership program. We have a lot of women leadership program. You know, hey, we are empowered, right? In a way. Not everybody, I'm not saying that everybody is empowered, but empowerment is happening at every session. But what happens? You don't have gender sensitive men. What's happening with them? Let's talk with them. Let's walk the talk with the men as well. So I really aspire for gender equality sessions, gender forums, where you also have men in the audience, you have men in the sessions as the speakers, then we'll have a sustainable change.
I'll just take one stab.
Thanks, Sudha.
Most of the things she mentioned, right? One thing I just wanted to add is the change is a hockey stick effect, right? It will take a long time for a change to start, but when it initiates, it will reach quick. So you asked the time frame. I definitely believe in our lifetime we will see a significant change. Definitely there will be scope of improvement always. But if I see a destination, this journey, if it is leading to a destination, it should be like there should not be any special topics on this. It should be a new normal, right?
You just stole my word.
Yeah, so we have to march towards that. And as she said, as a mother, as a parent, if the current generation is able to raise the next generation with that sensitivity of everyone have the rights to have financial independence and everyone has to take care of their own work. They should not think that someone else will come and do this, right? If these two sensitivities being bring in the today's children, I think the next generation will be.
Yeah. Like you rightly said, thanks for that. Like you rightly said, I think the day when we are no longer talking man woman.
You're talking about potential, you're talking about abilities, and you're talking about merit. It's no longer because you're a man or because you're a woman. That's when I think this topic will rest. Thanks for that, and I think a round of applause for both of them, and if you can get the plaques as well.